Thank you, Melinda. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. It is indeed my pleasure to be here this afternoon to meet all the potential leaders. I want to welcome you to our Leadership Academy, and this is the very first time happening in Atlanta. I want to especially thank David Jiang, the chairperson of Atlanta Advisory Board, and also all the advisors to make this happen. From time to time, I have been talking with people how to be a good leader. But before doing that, I want to tell you a little bit about International Leadership Foundation. International Leadership Foundation is a nonprofit organization. It is established about 15 years ago. Primarily, we want to help Asian American community to be a better place, to enhance the position of the Asian American community. So for the past 15 years, we have a very good program called Civil Fellowship Program. And college student, they will be able to intern at the White House, federal agency, and also Capitol Hill. One of our fellow, Dr. Jiangsu fellow, Alex Wu, he graduated from Marine, and he worked for the White House for the past 6 months, and now the White House has officially offered a job for him. We want to, it's very critical, it's very important for us to involve policy. Because for most of them, probably your families or your parents that are first generation immigrants, some of them probably you were born here, some of them probably you as an immigrant yourself. Can I have done a survey? Whoever was born in the United States, can you raise your hand? Good, great. And whoever's born overseas, please raise your hand. All right. So 1/3 are new immigrant, the first generation immigrant, and 2/3 are born here. We call Asian American an ABC. But no matter where you're from, no matter what's your background, I think America is full of a dream. And we can talk more. The whole afternoon we'll share with you all the very inspirational story. But in Washington, D.C., it's a very interesting place. The purpose of this program, we still want you to develop your professional skills, but we also want you to understand American policy. In the United States, Asian American business are doing wonderful, great, they are doing excellent. The total revenue Asian American businesses generate equal to the combined of the revenue generated by African Americans, Native American, and also Hispanic Americans. But politically or policy-wise, we are very, very weak. In the United States, if by proportion, we should have 26 Asian American member of Congress, but we only have a half. We only have 13. So for Chinese American, we only have 2.5. And we probably have one more new member of Congress from Los Angeles called Ted Lieu. So we'll make 3.5. Another half is in Chicago, Tammy Duckworth. Tammy Duckworth is half Chinese and half Thai. So the purpose of this Civil Fellowship Program, we really want our students to develop professional skills. But in the meantime, we want you to understand what's happening on the Capitol Hill at Washington, D.C. So you can use this program to understand more about different policy. If you want to be a professor, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer in the future, you also need to know what's happening in that field. As a doctor, maybe someday you'll become administrator of a hospital. If you are a professor, sometimes you could be a president of university. So you need to know what's happening in healthcare, you need to know what's happening in the educational field. So this is one of the programs. So we all encourage you. I know most of you are high school students. So I hope in the future when you go to college, you can consider to intern in Washington, D.C. Not necessarily through International Leadership Foundation, but also through other internship programs. We have another program called Young Ambassadors Program. We select very best students from Shanghai, Beijing, and Taipei to participate in leadership program training. And they will be visiting Harvard University, New York Stock Exchange, and to meet with all the politicians in Washington, D.C. And then eventually they will be mingle with all fellows in Washington, D.C. and develop very, very strong network. And then it's become cross-strait relationship. So in the future, I always tell them, when you become a leader, either in China or in Taiwan and in the United States, I want all those leaders can pick a phone call to communicate with each other, can resolve the issue, and we have a world peace. So we have 15 chapters. We're very happy we recently established Atlanta chapters. So all those 15 chapters comprised by very successful business community leaders, and they are the role model to share their story and experience with all our students. So today we are talking about the leadership, and I want to really talk with our students, in the audience. I want to hear from you. What's the definition of leadership? Can someone raise their hand to answer my first question? What's the definition of leadership? Can anybody raise your hand to answer my first questions? What is the definition of leadership? Nobody? It's a very simple question. What do you think is important to be a leader? Of you? Now here's the first one. Please say me your name and where you're from. Please stand up.
Yeah, you can hold the button at the bottom.
Hi, my name is Albina. I'm from Atlanta, and I'm currently a graduate student in New York. I think a leader is someone who has a vision, and he can see far into the future.
Wonderful. Thank you. Give her a round of applause. Who can see the future? But most importantly, she's willing to stand up. If you just observe what's happening for the past 3 minutes, nobody willing to raise their hand. That's our first challenge as an Asian American. Why? This is a very simple question. I'm not asking you to give me $100. I just ask you to answer this very simple question. What's the reason nobody willing to raise hand? First of all, shy. We're very afraid. Because we're afraid maybe I answered the question wrong and I may lose my face. And also, I want to see what other people's doing. And then I could be the second one. And also probably I just didn't prepare. I didn't sleep well last night. So this morning, I really don't feel I want to talk. If I tell you my schedule, you will be very, very shocked. For the past 2 weeks, I have fly 5 cities. This morning, I got at 5 o'clock in order to make this conference. When I come over here, do I have a choice if I don't have a lunch? If I didn't sleep well? I have to stand in front of all of you to speak. So you can see, I'm not saying I'm 100% successful. There are other people that are more successful than I am. But it's just a very, very, very small challenge. How are you going to deal with it? One time I was at a convention, and there's 10,000 people there. And I wasn't even informed I'm going to give a speech. About 2 minutes before my presentation, they said, Chilin, they want you to speak. Within 2 minutes, they push me on the stage. What should I do? I have to speak. But why I can speak to 10,000 people? Because I have prepared to speak to 5 people, 10 people, and 100 people. The opportunity is there. How are you going to prepare yourself to be a leader in the future? Not only a leader, but how to be successful in your life and in your career. From time to time, I will share with students. I said, they're very simple. It's not very complicated. First of all, you must have very positive thinking. Always think positively. From time to time, we'll see something that very make me unhappy. From time to time, I feel frustrated. From time to time, it's just like 3 minutes ago, you are afraid to do something. But always to be positive. Maybe you can use the encouragement from your friends. Maybe you can read some very good books. Maybe you can, look at YouTube. You can always have some positive thinking video, very inspirational video. Sometimes in church, sometimes in meditation. You always have find people to be positive thinking. And the second thing is you have to have very stable financial stability. Right now, probably it's too early for you to say that. But when you go to the college, when you graduate, you probably need to be very careful about your financial planning. How do you budget in your expenses? And how are you going to make money to pay for those bills, expenses? And the third thing is you must have very healthy life, which is mean you have to eat healthy, you have to exercise regularly, drink a lot of water, and also don't overburn your body. The number 4 is you should have very good networking with your friends, with your classmates, with your colleagues, and your co-workers. On top of that, it's very critical have very good relationship with your families, with your parents, with your future, girlfriend or boyfriend, and even your spouse. And when you grow up, it's with your children. From time to time, I will share with students to express themselves. Again, just during this environment, nobody wants to express themselves. To show your appreciation to your parents, to your teachers. Every day, when I have done something, I just finished an event in Chicago, Orlando. When I'm waiting for my plan, when I'm waiting, for my ride, the first thing I'm doing is to send thank you letter to them. Because when you send the email out, you always have your signature. For example, if I send an email to you, I have an automatic signature. It's Chilling Tong, founder and CEO of International Leadership Foundation. But just use your imagination. You put thank you letter on the top. I tell you, no matter what, you always can find a way to thank people. The first person you need to thank is your parents, because they drive you to here. Or they cook meals for you. Don't take it for granted, because nobody else will do that for you. So I want to do another survey. For the past week, have you ever said thank you loudly to your parents? Please raise your hand. Wonderful, wonderful. We have probably 25% of students. And I want you to do it every day. Because your parents have done so much for you, especially Asian American parents. They are willing to sacrifice everything for children. You can see that, probably you don't see how deep it is. When you grow up, when you have children, you will see that. Your parents don't have to do that for you. But Asian parents, they've done a lot. They are the most sacrificed parents in the world. So say loudly to thank them, and say loudly to your friends, because your friends have done something for you. Of course, you may have an argument with them, but think about what they have done for you first, and you can discuss the difference in the future. We always have a conflict. For the leader, they always recognize the positive thinking first, and then we'll talk about the difference. Sometimes I would say 80-20 rule. Always think about the 80%, the very good things happening to you. And also 20%, there's some problem, and we can always resolve the problem as long as you have an ongoing communication. Even for today, do you know how many volunteered to put this event together? First of all, they have to secure the date. Second of all, they have to secure location. Third of all, they send notice out. And the fourth of all, they have to invite the speakers to come. They just work very, very hard in order to make this happen, and they have to make sure IT works. They want to make sure they have volunteer registration there. Did you say thank you to them? No, because not saying you're not gratitude enough because you do not know. There's something you can see, something you cannot see. There's a lot of things behind the scenes you cannot see. Those volunteers, they have worked so hard in order to make this happen. So at least when this event over, I really want you to thank your parents to allow them to come here. I want you to thank the volunteers. So if you ask me, why Qilin, you are, I wouldn't say so successful, why you're able to advance your career to a certain stage? Because I really always thank people. It's easy. All you need to do is to recognize their commitment and their contribution. You'll always compensate them. It's free. You don't have to pay them. All you have to say is to show your appreciation. And of course, for a lifetime, people say, oh, Qilin, how could you work by yourself to achieve? Because I'm a new immigrant. English is not my first language. I have an accent. Sometimes even people don't understand. When I came over to the United States, people even don't understand what I'm talking about. It's just like a new immigrant. It's a handicap. Sometimes we feel embarrassed. We cannot express ourselves well. Most of you are born here. You have more advantage than I am. Why I can conquer this fear? Why can you conquer the fear? You speak better English than I am. Why can't you raise your hand to express yourself? I'm always afraid. Even because I come to the stage, I'm afraid. When I work for Department of Commerce, we have all the, different kind of people. They're all overachievers. During the 1 hour discussion, they just say whatever they want to say. It's very difficult for me to express myself in front of them. Every time I have some good ideas, I want to say something, but they speak such a good English. They talk very loud. Sometimes maybe they don't know what they're talking about, but they talk very loud. It's very difficult for me to break in between A and B to express myself. So after the meeting is over, they always express good idea, which some of them is my idea. I lost the opportunity. And I had to learn how to conquer the fear. Feel the fear, but do it anyway. Because I always have a good team member. I always work with a group. I never work alone. Before I come to the meeting, I learn. I want to discuss with my friends and colleagues. I say, hey, what's the recent important issue you are talking about? What's the personality of my boss? The more data, the more information you collect, the more understand that person. So I always encourage people to know, what's going on at that event. So I assume everybody received a flyer, right? Did you receive the flyer in order to come here? Raise your hand if you received the flyer. Great. In the flyer, did you see the speaker's name? Good. Did you ever do the Google search about that speakers? Raise your hand if you do the Google search about the speaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people. 6, 7, 8. Maybe some of them you still did not raise your hand. Raise your hand one more time. Whoever do the Google search about the speakers, raise your hand. Hi. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 10 people. Thank you. Why so hard to raise your hand? It's just I don't feel comfortable. If you want to be successful, you always have to think outside the box. You all have to go out the comfort zone. I have to, it's very unfortunately, or age or generation, everybody is just looking at that small box, that smartphone. Basically, sometimes I feel it's still before. Because they disconnect people's communication with each other. The most important communication is to talk to the people in person, eye to eye and shake hands. So go back to how I conquer my fear. If you know your environment, if you know your environment well, you will be able to conquer your fear. If you know who's the speaker, you know who are the volunteers, if you know the background information about the organization, 50% your fear is gone. And then another 50%, you have to have your teammate, your friend, we can discuss and we talk how we can work this project together. And the rest of all is to establish your own confidence. How to establish your own confidence? It's a long lesson. You'll probably be able to hear some stories this afternoon. So the purpose of this training, this is not the ending, because after 5 o'clock, everything will be over. But this is the beginning of how you're going to bring it home, your own confidence. How you build your confidence. If you call you to come over to the stage, will you be afraid? Can I call 2 persons to come to the stage right now? Who volunteer? Come. Oh, there's one lady there. And can I have a boy? Oh, there's a boy over there. Come over here. Wonderful. Come over here. Wonderful. I'm so happy. Come. On the stage. Introduce yourself, where you're from, your name.
My name is Ariana Mao. I'm from Atlanta. I go to the Westminster Schools.
Wonderful. Great.
My name is Eric Yao. I'm from Johns Creek and I go to Piney Grove Middle School.
Excellent, excellent. Now I want you, both of you, to practice one thing, handshaking. Let me know how you do the handshaking and eye contact. the breakthrough. There are so many steps in our lifetime we have to break through. To raise their hand, I have seen more students raise their hand. I really appreciate your doing that. You're willing to try, give a try. And then they're willing to be on the stage and they're doing very, very good job. I'm just so proud of our Asian American community. I remember when I came over to this country, I was full of energy and enthusiasm. And I talked with my landlord. I said, hey, look, my country, kind of grow me. They paid all the education fee. My parents spent so much effort to educate me. But now I want to dedicate my golden year to the United States. And my landlord is a very good lady. That happened about 20 years ago. And she looked at me, she said, I really don't think our country needs more immigrants. The new immigrants, they come here to take advantage of our social security system. It really hurts me so badly. I say, oh my God. I never ask for anything. I'm always so shy. I'm always kind of hide myself at a corner. I will do everything for you, but I don't want to take credit. Why are you thinking that about me? Asian American community? Although that was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And then later on, I have another opportunity to meet with a teacher and a superintendent. And my father came to see me. And we had a wonderful lunch, actually dinner. So the wife asked my father, what do you think about the United States? Which part do you like about the United States? My father thought a while and he said, I think the weather is so beautiful. And then she asked, and how about which part you don't like? My father thought about that. He said, maybe crime. And the wife immediately said, I tell you, Southeast Asian refugees bring all the crime to the United States. So, again, that was 20 years ago. But again, what's happening in this society? We Asian Americans, we are almost a silent group. But why you still want to take advantage of my silence, take advantage of my contribution? We have done so much for this country. Talking about Asian business, how much we generate, we help create so many jobs. If you are silent, you will be diminished. You will not exist anymore. Because even right now, the talk show host will allow students saying, killing all the Chinese. If that happened to the African American community, I tell you, that will not be a different result. If you're silent, you don't exist. You have to speak out. This is a very lonely road and a lonely path. But if we work together, we'll be able to accomplish where we are. It's hard, but as long as we work together, we will be accomplished. American is still the most I would say, still the most powerful country in the world. So many immigrants. If you look at all those Central America, those young kids, their children, they are willing to come to this country even to risk for their life. We still have the best democratic system, democratic governor. If you cannot take advantage of this system, then you waste your time in the United States. There's so much freedom we can accomplish. In the world, there's no other country that would like another foreigner like me, able to serve as the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Commerce. I have to go through all the security clearance. There's no person like me in the other country as a foreigner that will be able to have me to serve as a White House initiative, as a commissioner to advise the president. Not only one president, but two presidents. It's American dream. We can see so many good examples. I would like to, you probably will meet with the Atlanta chairperson, David Jiang. David Jiang himself is very inspirational. He was a CPA. He could have an okay life, but he's not satisfied because he understands this is the America. This is a place, the sky is unlimited. You can achieve whatever you want. So he developed his own brokerage firm and doing a financial plan for WFG. About 10 years ago, at his Christmas party, he only had 50 people. Last year, I attended his Christmas party with all his agents, with all his clients, about 600 agents, 1,000 people and more over there. 10 years, he starting from a small table, moving around, people kick him around, and he got his own building, not only one, but two. Because David, he knows the leadership. He's able, himself, he cannot do that. He worked with very, very good team in order to establish that. And you will hear this story every week in the United States, in the Asian American community. But most importantly, when you become successful, you will like David Jiang and also our Atlanta advisor, willing to pay back to the community. So is my time up? Oh, good. Thank you. I won't spend more time with you, and I will spend the afternoon with you. This is only the beginning. In the future, we'll bring more good speaker to you, and I hope you can grow with us, to grow with ILF, and to achieve whatever you want to achieve, and to achieve American dream. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Chi-Ling Tong, for your wonderful advice and all the work that you've done for the Asian American community. And now I would like to introduce Mr. David Jiang, as he is the chairperson for the Atlanta chapter of the International Leadership Foundation. Mr. David Jiang has come to the mainland U.S. from China in 1995 to pursue his master's degree in professional accountancy. He graduated and worked for PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the big four accounting firms in the world. And he worked there for 5 years before he decided to move into entrepreneurship and start his own business. He is now the CEO, marketing director of the World Financial Group, and this organization markets investment, insurance, and mortgage products through a network of associates across the United States and Canada. He currently has grown his business exponentially over the past 10 years, and he now leads over 530 agents nationwide and operates out of 2 large offices in Atlanta, as Ms. Tong has already mentioned. And despite his busy schedule, he still manages to give back to the community, especially in the youth development for leadership and ensuring the success of future leaders for tomorrow. And here is Mr.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me clearly? All right. It's a beautiful day. It's not raining yet. You know, 3 years ago, through an introduction, I had to know International Leadership Foundation. And when I written is a mission and vision, and really, fall in love with these organizations. So I started to support and I contributed to this organization. And actually I was included in the San Francisco chapter because we didn't have a chapter in Atlanta. So even just January this year, I called Chilin and called maybe we can form a chapter in Georgia. That's why I called some friends and who is interested to do something for this community and society and help our next generation. That's why we have a good friend joined together, so we formed Georgia chapter. And in the financial service for last 15 years, and I'm trying to before this work for Hospital of Purpose. So I had a chance to experience the corporate America, and also I had a chance to see the entrepreneurship opportunity. And if you look at both sides, and what is the most important and factor to contribute your success? And from years thinking and practice, and I found the two most important factors. One is leadership, and the second is communication skill. That's why we start to brainstorm, and so we need to do something for our community. And so talk to all the advisors 1 month ago. They say have to do something and do the summer for our next generation. As our generation, most of the parents will come to this country 10 years, 20 years, and pursue American dream. But they don't use American dream. And how can you make your dream come true? And you do another thing, right? Something we cannot change. Let's say your language. English is your second language. And culture. And something you can change. So we want to, if something, if we do for our next generation, I think it will be very, very happy to do. That's why we want to offer this opportunity and platform for our next generation. I believe they grow up here and they have a better chance. They grow up in a much better environment, and if they're able to establish their leadership and show their communication skill,